Tyson, Muhammad Ali have been, so I love to follow in those footsteps. My biggest strength in the ring will be my jab. I love to use it. It's one of my best tools. It sets up everything I need to destroy my opponent. My opponent should be worried about me and everything I had to offer. Step with this jab, this right uppercut, this straight right, this overhand right, this left hook, it's everything.
You know, to 5 years the first time was one of my dreams. But we're gonna be exhausted, right? Quick ladies. I know it's a good boxing. It's not gonna be really easy, but I'm prepared for that fight. I train very hard for this fight because any fight for me is a big fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the main event tonight? 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. Let's bring out your fighters. Please welcome to the ring, Craig Lewis.
Craig Lewis, I can tell you this right now, Randy. Craig Lewis is not coming here to lay down for Carlos Takam. He wants to get this win. He's looking at this as actually an incredible opportunity. I was speaking to him earlier, and he said this is an unbelievable opportunity to catch this guy on the down after he's coming off an L and have an opportunity to beat a legit heavyweight and a heavyweight contender that just fought for the world title against Anthony Joshua. So this is a big, big fight for Craig Lewis, and he knows it.
Yes, it is a very big fight for him. It's a huge, this is a career opportunity. He beats Takam, who is a top 10 contender. Basically, he takes his place. One thing that I don't like is that thin hair. Many commissioners would not, I once had that when I was a commissioner before me. I told the guy, you want to fight in New York, you got to cut it. Why? Because let's say he gets headbutted right in that area and he gets cut bad. How do you work on the cut? You can't.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent. Here is Carlos Takam.
And out comes the heavyweight contender, Carlos Takam. He comes from Douala, Cameroon, now lives in Henderson, Nevada, just a stone's throw down the block, down the stretch from Lost Wages, Nevada, Las Vegas. I call it Lost Wages.
Takam he's a heavy puncher, and let me tell you, he took Anthony Joshua into deep waters. I mean, he got stopped in the 11th round. It wasn't a short fight with Anthony Joshua, so and this guy, he's a legit contender.
And since that, well, you know, that fight took place in October 2017. In July of 2018, he then lost to Derek Chisora. Came back with one more victory in December of 2018. This is his first fight of the year. We're going to see him in his second fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Guardian Star Boxing in conjunction with Resorts World Catskills is proud to present your main event of the evening. 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. Your judges for the main event are John Vasily, Ron McNair, and Alan Nace. And when the action begins, your referee is Chucky Antoine. And now, live from Resorts World Catskills in Monticello, New York, for everybody in the building and those watching live around the world on Fight.tv. It's about to go down. Somebody make some noise! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the blue and black. He weighed in at an even 244 pounds. His record, 14 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw, and 8 wins, coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Detroit, Michigan, introducing Craig "See-Lou by the way, Lewis. And now his opponent fighting out of the red corner across the ring tonight. He wears gold and black, weighing in at 253.8 pounds. His record, 36 victories, 5 defeats and 1 draw, 28 big wins by way of knockout. Fighting out of Paris, France, making his American debut, presenting Carlos Takam.
Gentlemen, I don't do instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Just touch them up.
Here we go, Randy. Here we go.
With heavyweights,
The
you gotta
main
hold
event.
on. There could be one shot that ends it either way. I like the weight on Carlos Takam. I think it looks good. 253.
And he does
0.8.
not look. He does not look out of shape at 253. He
No.
looks solid as solid can be.
And you know, his last 2 losses against Derek Chisar, a world-class fighter, and of course Anthony Joshua. It's like
2 world champions.
shrug your shoulders. He acquitted himself very well in both of those fights before the endings. And yes, after the Derek Chisar fight, he had 1 victory. But you're wondering, has he shaken off maybe the effects of those back-to-back losses
And
to
that's
Joshua?
what I
and Chisar?
mentioned. That's what I had mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes your next fight back after a loss tells a lot about you as a fighter, and you know, kind of where you're going to go from there. Are you going to be a bona fide opponent after that? Or are you going to still be as a contender and in the mix? And these types of fights, Carlos Takam has to be ready for. He has to get these wins, and he has to elevate his game, because if he wants to get back there and he wants to get to a big money fight, he wants to get in there for another opportunity at the world title, he's got to take these types of fights, get some work, get some reps and some rounds in, and win these fights.
And if you wonder what kind of chin that Craig Lewis has, he's 14-3. His 3 losses have been on decision, but 2 of his losses have come against fringe contenders, Jermaine Franklin, who's undefeated, and Junior Fa, who's undefeated.
Okay, so, you know, hey, let's give a lot of credit to Craig Lewis. I mean, his only losses were to undefeated guys.
Oh, let me
Nev-
add Demetrius
never been stopped.
Banks. Demetrius Banks also was undefeated.
Yeah, 3 undefeated guys. Those are his losses, and he's never been stopped, right? Correct?
Absolutely.
So this is a solid heavyweight fight tonight. And you know what? Carlos Takam's going to have to bring it. And, you know, Craig Lewis, like I said, Craig Lewis is looking at this as an opportunity to make a name for himself. He wins this fight tonight, and let me tell you something, tomorrow, everybody knows Craig Lewis.
Absolutely. And if Carlos Takam struggles to a decision, it's everybody basically shrugs their shoulders and says, "You're going to give him a title shot?"
Yeah. And which is
Oh,
unfortunate.
no. That could work the other way too. Maybe one of the title holders will say, "You know what?
Sometimes that works to your benefit.
Yeah.
You know, they say, hey, listen, this guy, he's, you know, we should take this. This is a nice little warm-up for a big fight. And, you know, so it's just so weird the way things work themselves out in the pro boxing world. You know, you get a guy who doesn't look good, wins a fight, all of a sudden he gets a big opportunity.
Yeah.
Then you get a guy who loses a fight, he's out of the picture completely, or he comes back with another big fight. So, you know, it's just so unpredictable. It's really who you have promoting you, how you're maneuvering yourself, and and who needs what when. For instance, if an Anthony Joshua or one of these big named heavyweights are looking for a stay busy fight, or there's a big undercard co-main event fight, well, Carlos Takam is a perfect guy for that. And that gives Carlos Takam opportunity to get back to the promised land.
And you're right. I would have loved to have been at the meetings between Joe DeGuardia of Star Boxing and Carlos Takam. Because you think about it, Joe DeGuardia had to sell to Carlos Takam, I'm going to be your promoter. Here's what I'm going to do for you. Here's what I can do for you, and blah, blah, blah. And Carlos Takam had to say, hey, Joe, you've got this successful company. I want to sign with you. I could be your heavyweight champion, and I know I can. So he had to sell Joe. Joe had to sell him. They sold each other, and here we are. Carlos Takam's first fight for Star Boxing.
Well, let me tell you something. Joe DeGuardia in Star Boxing is back in the heavyweight business. And Joe knows as well as anyone, to take your company and your promotional firm to another level, you got to have competitive heavyweights. Those are the guys that are going to get you on those Showtime, HBO's not around anymore, but those HBO-type big pay-per-view events is the heavyweights. And right now, Takam's got him backed up into a corner, and he's trying to do some work here. He's doing some body work, getting some body shots in. But Craig Lewis weathered the storm, and he's keeping him at the end of that jab, and he's doing a really good job.
Carlos Takam, 38 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. Of his 38 wins, 28 have come by way of knockout.
Nice jab into a right, overhand right for Lewis.
And of his 5 losses, 3 have come by way of stoppage. 1 to Anthony Joshua, 2 to Derek Chisora, and we talked about both of them. And another one took place back in 2014 to then once beaten Alexander Povetkin, who just a few weeks ago won himself a very big fight by beating Huey Fury, the cousin of Tyson Fury. Lewis using that height, gets
Nice
the left hook there.
By Takam, and you know what? Lewis, like I said, Lewis stood up to it and took it quite well.
Takam about 6'3.5". Lewis about 6'5", 6'5.5". End of round number 2. This one scheduled for 10 rounds, heavyweight action. Carlos Takam, Craig Lewis. And you have a feeling that there was some feeling out in the first round, a little bit more feeling out in that second round, and it's basically time for both guys to get down to work. I'm trying to look at both guys' style and see if they remind me of anybody. And if I could pick anybody, perhaps that Carlos Takam reminds me of, a little bit of Smoking Joe Frazier. The crouching, the bobbing, the weaving, sometimes banging the gloves together.
Let me tell you something.
Picture of concentration right there on the face of Craig Lewis.
Might act a little bit smooth, but we both can agree. Randy, Smoking Joe, just a legend. Legendary. Nice overhand right by Takam to open up the third round. Another right hand by Takam.
You don't do what you do. You don't do what you do,
Oh, I like that left hook to the body by Takam. Overhand right. He goes downstairs, then upstairs. There's some power shots by Takam. Lewis keeping his distance. Lewis using that height and reach. Just trying to be careful on the inside, gets away from the right hand. Very exciting card tonight here at Resorts World Casino Catskills. You can sense that the crowd is just waiting for something to happen. Big bomb by the part of either guy. Craig Lewis began his career back in 2014.
Another left by Takam. 2 in a row, good shots.
And as we pointed out, he's lost his last 2 fights, but to 2 undefeated prospects, both of them on decision.
And let me tell you something, Lewis is legit. Lewis is a legit fighter. You have to come prepared. You have to be very good to beat him. He's not a guy that's just going to lay down. I mean, you know, obviously he hasn't been in there against the world champion, you know, but he's a legit heavyweight. I'm watching him here, and he's getting some really good looks. He's taking good shots. He's returning stuff. His defense is real solid. I mean, this is a really solid guy in Craig Lewis.
He really is. And watch on the inside. He really does a great job in smothering his opponent. There, he'll tie Takam up. And the way he uses his arms to block the shots. Then he takes a walk. Final seconds, round number 3.
He caught that punch after the bell, which could have been considered a bad situation for Takam. Lewis takes it with his hands down, walks back to the corner, says, it didn't hurt me, but guess what, Randy? I think that punch hurt him. He kind of walked a little weird back to the corner.
You're right.
And that was definitely after the bell, but I think Takam may have had it in the air as the bell went.
I actually think he did, but it shows you that cardinal rule, protect yourself at all times. And Lewis has been doing this since the opening bell, dropping his hands. You're going to drop your hands, you're going to get nailed sooner or later. And keep in mind, this is a 10-round bout, and that the 254 pounds of Carlos Takam. And this is not blubbery weight. This is muscle.
He's solid.
He's a big man. You know, and I don't think on him the muscles actually hurt. I have always believed that Anthony Joshua was too muscle bound, and it showed in his loss back in June to Andy Ruiz.
You know, I was just thinking, Randy, you really have to give it to Resorts World Casino. You know, they're really bringing back boxing to this area, and they're partnering with a really solid company, Star Boxing in Georgia, and it's a great partnership. Resorts World Catskills Casino and Resort is such a beautiful property, and they're doing a good. That was a low blow by Takam.
I was enjoying listening to you on that one, and just as you were talking about Resorts World and everything, Carlos Takam went downstairs. It didn't look like a solid shot.
No,
it was more or less a grazing shot.
And I think he did. It was a total accident. He apologized right there. He's a professional guy, so.
Headbutt.
But they've done. I just point being, Star Boxing and Resorts World Catskills. What a great partnership, and they're doing some big things up here and putting on some incredible cards.
I know, and this is like the third time in my career that I've been up here. One time was back with Ring Magazine when I was following the young budding career of Catskill Thunder. I called him Catskill Thunder. Everybody else called him Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson. And he once told me, I love your nickname for me, Catskill Thunder. And every time I see him, I go, yo, Catskill Thunder. And he smiles and gives me a hug. So that was one time that I was up here a lot. And then as commissioner in New York, a lot of the older hotels used to run fights up here on a regular basis. And then, as you say, Star Boxing. Joe DeGuardi and Ron Cassidy put together so many outstanding cards up here. And we're watching a heavyweight in Carlos Takam, who's a top 10 heavyweight contender, who, if he keeps winning,
Nice right hand by Lewis. You see him sneak that right hand in? Takam.
He'd have to sneak in a lot more on my scorecard. I've given
No
Carlos
doubt,
Takam.
no doubt about it. And listen, great shot. Seems that it didn't affect Takam, but that was one hell of a shot.
Both guys look rather fresh. Neither guy's mouth is hanging. That was a very lazy right hand thrown by Lewis. End of round number 4. Right now, Lewis is doing, in my book, a little bit more than surviving. He's not fighting this to win. His body language doesn't tell me he's fighting it to win. He's fighting it to keep from being knocked out.
No, he gets his 1 or 2 shots in, and then he'll kind of, he'll play the game. But I think you hit that on the head. I think he's not going in there to win the fight. I think he's going in there to make it look good, make a good count of himself, and hopefully he gets a good shot in and hurts him, and then he can take advantage of that. But he needs to be more aggressive, especially going into the 5th round right now. Right now, he needs to bank some rounds, take some rounds with him into the end of this fight.
And we're in the 5th round, scheduled for 10 rounds here at Resorts World Casino in the Catskills. Craig Lewis in the blue trunks. Carlos Takam in the black, driving the right hand to the body, missing with the left foot upstairs. You see the in-close work, and that's where Carlos Takam really wants to keep this fight on the inside. Every once in a while, Craig Lewis comes alive and stabs real hard, long, straight left hand. But then he goes back into somewhat of a defensive shell, just staying out and reaching up. See, there he made Carlos Takam commit with the right hand, but not throw.
Definitely got Takam's attention on that shot.
Right hand looked like it might have landed hard, but Lewis more or less rolled with that punch. 1 minute to go.
Nice counter right by Takam. Nice jab.
Nice.
Double, tripling up on that jab. Nice right hand.
That was a reaching left hook and another reaching left hook and another one basically by Takam. He can't get his left hook on track, although he's never really been known for a brutal left hook. See, he's reaching in with that left hook. And he's only outside by about 1.5 inches. Headed toward the end of round number 5, scheduled for 10. See what Craig Lewis is doing with his arms up on the ropes like that. He's got his left arm up on the ropes. Many cornermen, and I'm one of them. Gil Clancy, the late great Hall of Famer Gil Clancy used to tell me, do not let your fighter sit there with his arms draped up on the rope. It's a sign that you're tired.
Tommy Parks, one of the best trainers of all time. Love Tommy Parks very dearly. You know, Hurricane Reuben, Hurricane Carter,
By the way,
Bobby Chase.
Look how Takam is sitting, hands at his side.
Just, I mean, the list goes on and on of great fighters that he managed. Charles Murray, the natural. He was the same way. Yanking those arms down off the ropes. If this fighter did that, I mean, he wouldn't allow it.
You know, because what could happen, and I've asked many judges about this, you know, let's say it's a close fight, competitive fight, but you feel that maybe one guy is starting to run out of gas. You're thinking this mentally, and you look over at him between rounds, and he's got his
new
arms,
life.
and he's slumping on his stool. Now the next round is a little bit close, but you know that he's getting close. Mentally, you give it to the guy that you think is fresher. It's just a mental thing.
And not even that, but if you're looking across the ring, you personally, it gives you that little kick in the butt to say, you know what, he's tired, and it gives you a little extra energy for that next round.
And again, I'm going to go back to my buddy, Teddy Atlas. Teddy has done this on occasion. He will be in the corner with his fighter who he knows is getting tired, but he knows that the other guy is absolutely running out of gas, and he'll step out of the way. Look at him. Look at him. You're not tired. Look at him. He can't even stand up. He's dead. Go get him. Finish him. You've got to encourage your fighter that you have a lot of gas left and he has nothing.
Oh, nice jab, right. And two really nice jabs by Lewis.
And a lot of the trainers, Emmanuel Stone once told me, never say to your fighter, even though you might think he's getting tired, don't tell him, you're not getting tired. Or what are you getting tired for? You trained hard. Now you're telling him you're getting tired. Do not use that word. If you're going to use it, turn around. Look at the other guys. Look how tired he is. You're wearing him down with your body shots. You're wearing him down. Somebody right now has to, more or less, and I think that Carlos Takam is winning this fight. And I would love to see him fight one of the contenders out there. I don't want to see him fight Deontay Wilder now, or Tyson Fury now, or Andy Ruiz, or Joshua. Bring on any one of the other guys, and I think you're going to see a much more inspired fight. But he is winning every round of the fight, having his moments where he'll fall into a little defensive lapse here and there, but sometimes he just follows Lewis in a circle.
And you know what? This is an opportunity for Takam to get back, you know, kind of knock some rust off, you know, be in a situation where he gets another, you know, a fight, he gets a win, you know, and gives him new life, and now he's with a new promoter. So, you know, this is a good, solid, heavyweight bout right now.
Lewis comes back with a flurry of his own. Referee has to push him away.
I got a shutout after 6 with Takam.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, a very, very good trainer once told me, you have to be, sometimes you have to be a good athlete out there. You have to, listen, you have to play brain games with these guys. You have to Jedi mind trick them to think that you're not tired, even though you're just as tired, maybe even more tired than your opponent. And sometimes you can break a fighter by them thinking that you're in better shape than you are. You can take their heart right out of them. And sometimes you have to do that. And guys give up.
You know, that works with just about any sport. I have talked to world-class bicycles, cyclists, runners, and let's say you're running in that 5 mile or the 5K race or whatever it is, and the other guy, you can tell that he's starting to lose it. So what you do, you take the lead a little bit, you push him a little bit more, and you make it look like you are not even breathing hard. And then you watch him step on it, and just basically through this load there, he's got nothing left. See, nothing on that left hook. I'm not impressed with the Carlos Takam left hook. He's got to get back to the drawing board and work on that a little. He's 254 pounds. Put your 254 pounds into the shot. You know, it's funny. Jerry Cooney the other night in studio was showing a bunch of people his left hook. He was just merely turning it over and hurting everybody when he just was showing it. I'm telling you, an afternoon with Cooney will give Takam a good left hook.
Takam throws a lot of wide shots, and he loses the power in the process. You know, if he dug down and he settled in on that left hook and dug it a little harder, he could get a lot more power out of that 253-pound frame. Halfway through the 7th round. It's been all Takam so far. I got it 60, 54.
No different. A little late shot on the break there.
Well, you know what?
Was that a headbutt?
I think he got headbutted. I don't think it didn't cause any blood or any cuts.
Yeah,
I
think I do see some blood.
Oh,
I am pretty sure.
Lewis, I was staring at Takam. On Lewis, yes, he's got some blood over his eye.
If for any reason he cannot continue, they're going to go to the scorecard. And now this has spurred on Carlos Takam, winging those shots. But that left hook, I'm telling you, this guy needs work on his left hook. Lunging left hook. He's got to work his way in closer and stop throwing the shot so much to the head. The body is there to be hit. Do like Rocky Marciano. Pound the arms, pound the body.
Right now, Lewis is trying to get through this round. And he will make it to the 8th round of this bout. He's going to have to do some work in the corner. You're going to have to do some work in the corner between the 7th and 8th round.
So round 7 of the books. And the real action came with about a minute and a half gone in the round when the two collided heads. And you see the corner of Craig Lewis over there, the side of his left eye has been cut. Blood is dripping down the side of his face, not obscuring his vision at all. But man, when those heads collide, it hurts. And I think that Carlos Takam may even have a little bit of a cut. They're using the end swell on his left eye, but I saw a moment ago them using a Q-tip on his right eye. He's got a little bit of a nip there. That's the Lewis corner. I think that Carlos Takam may also have a little bit of a mouse maybe above his right eye. Watch how Carlos sometimes takes his right hand and just kind of wipes in front of his face. He's been doing that for a while because at first I thought maybe he had something in his eyes, but he does that a lot.
I think it's either a habit or I think it's like a distraction.
You know, like I said, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Joe Frazier, but Joe is always pumping and moving the
Tell you
shoulders.
something. He is a far cry from Joe Frazier with that left hook.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Let's let Joe Frazier, one of the best hooks in boxing history. I mean, so you know, but you know, the bobbing and weaving, the coming in, you know, low and coming up high. Yeah, you know, he has similar stance and everything, but that left hook, you can't compare.
Those left hooks are basically lunging left hooks. I see nothing on that left hook. There's another lunging left hook. Nice jab on the part of Craig Lewis. Keeps sticking that jab, backing up a little bit, sticks the jab, runs into a right hand. Midway through round number 8, scheduled for 10. I'm Randy G, the commish, along with Nick Garone. Here on Star Boxing from the Resorts World Casino in the Catskills.
Nice left hook, followed up with a right hand by Takam.
Referee is calling time. He's going to have the doctors come in and take a look at it. It's bleeding, but
it's on the outside. It's not impairing his vision right now.
They're going to take a look.
I've never seen anyone pull a cup apart.
Yeah, but what they do,
I've never seen that. You've been around. You've been around a legal commission. So have you ever seen the doctor pull it apart?
They don't really
dab it.
They don't want to spread it apart because then it can rip it. What they do, because it's an up and down kind of, it's a vertical slit. So what they do, they kind of pull one end up, one end down, and they kind of just get a little bit of a look inside of it, just to see if it's down.
I've been around boxing a long time. I just never saw. I mean, I was looking at that. I mean, and you, like I said, there's nobody better to have next to me to ask that question.
I've actually, on many occasions, I used to jump into the ring with the doctor because I was curious. You know, people ask me, why did you do that? I said, because I could. I mean, I wanted to see what was going on. And it has taught me a lot about the game. Rather than just sitting down here, when the doctor would look at me and say, I'm going up and taking a look, and I say, okay, fine. In New York, it is a state law that the doctors can stop the fight as well as the referee.
You know what? Lewis got some good shots in there. You know, Takam got caught spun around in that little exchange and caught it, you know, ate a couple of punches. But, you know, listen, we're in the 9th round here of a scheduled 10 rounder, so, you know, Lewis is still in there.
The doctor is talking to Lewis right now, and you start to wonder whether his corner is just going to tell him, look, you're losing every round of this fight. You got to cut here.
I would give him one more round. I would give him one more round and say, listen, we're going to give you another round, but I mean, there's no set. I mean, I have it as, listen, not that my scorecard is exact, but I have it as a shutout right now after 8.
Absolutely. Looking into the corner of Carlos Takam, putting the mouthpiece in, standing up. Referee Jamil Antoine says, hold on, bell rings, let's go. Round 9, scheduled for 10. It's Star Boxing on Fight.tv from Resorts World Casino in the Catskills. Randy G, along with Nick Garone and all of you out there in boxing land, taking a look at heavyweight contender Carlos Takam.
Oh, looks like Takam's getting through. He's hitting with some bombs.
It's like they sent him in the corner
And
go get him.
Just enough. He's got some chin, boy.
Yes, he does.
There's some fighters that got put down with some of those shots by Takam.
You know, it's really funny because the longer a fight goes, the more exposed you get. And what I mean is, all your weaknesses basically come out. Whether you have stamina problems, whether you get hit too much. And in this case, Carlos Takam, and I think it has a lot to do with rust. He hasn't fought in a while. But that left hook, and again, you just saw it there, those are not. And again, I've become spoiled over the years working alongside at Sirius XM Radio with Jerry Clooney, who had arguably one of the best left hooks ever. And I've seen how to throw the hook. Hey, I throw a better hook than Carlos Takam just working with Jerry Clooney. And he has taken a lot of fighters that he just shows who come up to the studio how to throw a better hook. And that's the one thing I see that Carlos Takam needs. When you are built like that, when you have hand speed, which he does, when you have 254 pounds in your frame, and you can punch, throw the hook like a hook should be thrown. Carlos is walking him down. Craig is walking him down, rather. I'm turning him into a runner. Carlos Lewis. Lewis walking him down. Sometimes he does get on his bike and starts acting a little bit like Carl Lewis. But he's done a great job. And we talked about the fact you don't stop this guy.
Listen, there's 3 losses to 3 undefeated fighters and didn't get stopped. And he's fighting a legitimate top 10 guy, and he's in the 9th round of that fight.
Can you imagine if Lewis ever won this fight? I'm going back to the judging school.
At this stage in the game, I think you just have to chalk this up to.
Oh, yeah.
This is a shutout, but now Lewis, this is pride. This is hard. I'm gonna finish this fight, and I'm gonna finish this fight, and I'm going to last, and I'm gonna stay and go the distance. And if you're in it, you can still win it. We've seen stranger things. So, listen, it is a shutout for him.
Carlos Takam, if you're working his corner, do you tell him, I want 180 seconds of action. Do not stop throwing punches. And that's the question directed all of you. And Lewis, what do you tell him? Craig Lewis. Out of Detroit, Michigan. 6'5", 6'5.5". Has used his left jab very smartly tonight. Not much of a right hand. And Carlos Takam, heavyweight contender, hoping for a title shot in 2020. His first fight was Star Boxing. Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. Joe promised him to stay busy, and I think that's what Carlos Takam needs. He needs to sharpen up.
No doubt about it. And he needs to stay active, and he needs to, if he gets him in the right fights and rattles off 2 or 3 wins for Carlos Takam, and he's 37, basically 37-5, if everything goes right in this round, he could get to a situation where he could get back in there in a money.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about maybe a world title fight, but I'm talking about a significant 10-round fight to have a chance.
A low shot. you hate when you're explaining something and really making a good point, and then all of a sudden some action like that happens. Referee Antoine said, listen, Carlos, I've spoken to you about this. Brings them back together.
I mean, listen, I truly believe Carlos Takam is not doing it, obviously on purpose, but, you know, it happens. And if it continues, you got to take a point away, regardless.
There's 90 seconds to go in this fight. And even if he did take a point, I mean, it's not going to affect the outcome of the fight.
But you know better than anyone. It doesn't matter what, if there's 5 seconds left, 10 seconds left in a fight, or what the score is in rounds. You know what the situation. If that's continual, you have to take it. You have to take it. And you were a true believer of that.
Oh yeah.
You never cared about how much time was in a round. If it was a foul, it was a foul.
But I hate to see it on first or second warnings.
Yeah, no. Second warning that's kind of getting to a point where the next time you're getting banged.
Yeah, I told the referees, the first time you see it, rapid punch, the low shots, you've already spoken to them in the dressing room about this. Say to them, this is the last time I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
You do it again. It was unintentional, ref. Well, whether or not you go down there again, I'm yanking a point. So it's back to the drawing board now.
Bomb shots by Takam.
Joe LaGuardia promised to keep Takam busy, and he will. And that's exactly what Takam needs. Takam has to get back to the gym and has really got to work. You can't just bang the heavy bag around him. He's really got to work. He's got to improve that left hook. I don't see much of a jab. He comes in with the jab, moves his hands, throws body shots. There's that lunging left hook again for the final punch in the fight.
Takam, you know what? He had a workman's-like performance tonight. He had to work for 10 rounds, but I guarantee that's the best thing that could have happened to Carlos Takam is go those 10 rounds, get him in, and come away with a very decisive shutout win, which I believe was a shutout win over a very seasoned, very tough, and hungry Craig Lewis.
You know, Craig was in there. Never showed the body language and the desire, I thought, to win the fight. He looked more like he wanted to survive, almost right from the opening bell. And he did a good job of that. He got cut. He got hurt once or twice. But he kept his distance and was able to get some rounds in.
Well, I could say one thing, Randy, and I know I speak for all the fans here, the fans watching at home. Tonight was a really entertaining night of professional boxing, and all the fights were very entertaining. And you know what? We got to see a lot of people, you know, i.e. Anthony Laureano and and Richie Rivera.
Brian Costello,
you know,
opened the show tonight with a third-round TKO.
We had an opportunity to see these guys and really get an opportunity to see them in a level where they're stepping up. And then we see a real tough contender in Carlos Takam beat a good grade. Just the whole card from start to finish was very competitive. Ron Katz did a great job in matchmaking this. Joe LaGuardia, of course, he always puts on such a great show. Just excited about tonight's boxing and continuing the series up here in the Catskills.
They are doing a great job. This is a beautiful venue, and we just hope they continue because, as you said, and we've been pointing it out, the history of boxing is rich here. Many old-time champions fought here and trained here. You know, then those heavyweight champions we mentioned at the opening, Rocky Marciano, Joe Frazier, Floyd Patterson, Catskill Thunder, Mike Tyson.
Well, you know what? Let's go up to Jazz Sakura.
Let's get that decision, and I think we're ready for it. Getting the fighters ready, referee's got him, and Jazz has got the mic. It's all his.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your main event fighters tonight. After 10 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. Judge Alan Nace scores it 96-94. Judge Ron McNair and John Basile score it 99-91. For your winner by unanimous decision, Carlos Takam.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that it was close.
Which judge had it at 96?
96, 94. I'm not sure which.
I'm absolutely jaw-dropped. I can't even believe somebody would score it that way.
Well, two of them had it 99, 91. One had it 96.
More like it. That's more like it.
If you happen to be looking at Craig Lewis, when they gave the scores and they said Carlos Takam, he shook his head in disbelief as if he had won the fight.
So did I. Wait.
No, Craig Lewis thought he won the fight. I mean, I had a shutout.
I was watching Carlos Takam and he kind of shook his head like, are they kidding me? And I totally agreed with him.